sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I'm not taught to think anything.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be naught a while. Know ye where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well.
Know ye before whom, sir?
Aye. Better than him that I am before knows me. I know that you are my eldest brother, and by gentle condition of blood you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better in that you are the firstborn, but I have just as much of my father in me as you.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Rowland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that says such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from off thy throat until the other had reached up and pulled out your tongue for saying so. Thou hast railed on thyself.
Let me go, I say.
I will not. Till I please, you shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me as a peasant. The spirit of my father grows strong within me. I can no longer endure it. Either give me the exercises that may become a gentleman, or else allow me the poor lottery that was given to me by testament. With that, I will go and buy my fortunes.
What wilt thou do then? Beg when it is spent? Well, sir, I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you, leave me.
must come away.
With his mouth full of news.
Which he will put on us as pigeons feed
Then shall we be news crammed? What's your mission, Beau? What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport? What colour?
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have lost the sight of.
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
What is that I speak of?
It's the first time that ever I did hear that being slapped with a kipper was sport for ladies.
Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must if you stay here. For here is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
How now, ladies? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling? You're too little delighted, since I can tell you there is such odds in the man.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
Your spirits and hope of your years. You've seen cool proof of this man's strength. We pray you for your own sake to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Punish me not with your hard thoughts.
Come, where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his Mother Earth?
Charles.
He can't speak.
What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, youngest son of Sir Roland de Bois.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. Fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth.
I'm more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
Shall we go, cuz?
Aye. Very well, gentlemen.
Rosalind, Cupid have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw at a dog.
Come, come, wrestle with thy affections.
They take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Is it possible on such a sudden that you've fallen into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest taste and get you from our cause.
Let the knowledge of my fault bear with me.
Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak. If she be a traitor, why, so am I. I know her. We have slept together. Rose at an instant, learned, played, ate together. And wheresoever we went, like Juno's swans, still we were coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, and her patient speech to people, and they pity her. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. And open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? I charge thee be not more grief than I am.
I'm more cause.
Devise then with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what should thou with us?
Why? Where can we go?
To seek mine uncle in the forest of Arden. I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face. The like do you, thus we shall pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better that I did suit me in all points like a man? We'll have a swashing and a martial outside as many other mannish crowds have that do outface it with their semblance.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, and therefore look you call me Ganymede. Or what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state, no longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essay to steal the clownish fool? Would you not be a comfort to our travel? Me alone to greet him.
Who's there? What? My young master? Oh, my sweet gentle master, oh, your memory of old Sir Roland. What come you here? Are you purchased? People will love you.
What's the matter?
Come not within this door. Within this roof lies the enemy of all your graces. Your brother, no, not brother. Yet the son, yet not the son. I will not call him son of him I was about to call your father. He hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the house where you used to lie, and you in it. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Fear it, abhor it, do not enter it.
What? Whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, you come not here.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and tune his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather. Who doth ambition shun, and loves to live in the sun, seeking the food he eats, and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
Now then, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which, even when it bites upon my body till I shirk with cold, I smile and say, this is not flattery. These are counsellors that feelingly persuade me what I am. And this our life exempt from public haunt finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style. The melancholy Jaques, today I stole behind him as he lay along under an oak whose antique root peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood. To the which place a poor sequestered stag did come to languish, and indeed, my lord, the wretched animal heaved forth such groans that their discharge stretched his leathern coat almost to bursting, and the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase. And thus the hairy fool, much marked of the melancholy Jaques, stood on the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears.
And what said Jaques? Did he not moralise the spectacle?
Oh yes, into 1,000 similes. First, for his weeping into the needless stream. Poor dear, quoth he, thou makest a testament, as worldlings do, giving thy sum of more to that which had too much. Then, being there alone, left and abandoned of his velvet friends, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens, 'tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there?
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting on the sobbing deer.
What? Look you merrily?
There then, how then, what then? Let me see if my tongue hath wronged her. If it do her right, why then she hath wronged herself. If she be free, why then my taxing like a wild goose flies, unclaimed of any man.
Forbear and eat no more!
Why, I have had none yet.
Nor will not, until necessity be served.
Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress, or else just a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemst so empty?
The thorn of bare distress has taken from me the show of sweet civility. Yet am I an inland man and know some nurture. But forbear me, I say, I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and eat. Be welcome at our table.
Speak thou so sweetly. Pardon me, I pray you, I thought all things be savage here.
'Tis true that we have seen better days, and have with holy bell been called to church, and sat at good men's feasts, and wept tears that sacred thoughts had once engendered. Therefore sit down at our table, and take what help may be minstered. This wide and universal theatre has more woeful pageants than the part wherein we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy,
with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths, bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, fair round belly with good capon lined, full of wise saws and modern instances, with eye severe and beard of formal cut, and so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice, turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sounds. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Jupiter, how weary my spirit.
I do not care for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
Bear with me, I cannot go no further.
For my part, I would rather bear with you than bear you. But should I have to bear you, I would have no cross to bear, for I think you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the Forest of Arden.
I am in Arden. More the fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place, but travellers must be content.
Aye, be so good, Touchstone.
Can it be possible that no man saw her?
I cannot hear of any that did see her. The ladies saw her abed, and in the morning early they found the bed untreasured.
Hesperia confesses that she secretly overheard them much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy chars, and she believes, wherever they are gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Were I not the better part, maid Mercy, I should not seek an absent argument of my revenge, thou present. But look to it, find out thy brother, wheresoe'er he is.
I have never loved my brother in my life.
thou, thrice crowned Queen of Night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress name that my full life doth sway. O Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste and unexpressive she.
From the east to western Ind, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures, fairest lined, are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind. Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace. Why should this a desert be? For it is unpeopled? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree that shall civil sayings show. Some have violated vows twixt the souls of friend and friend, but upon the fairest boughs or every sentence end will I Rosalinda write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite. Heaven would in little show. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave. Troy, you who have done this.
Is it a man? What manner of a man? Is his head worth a hat, or his chin worth a beard? Let me stay the growth of his beard, if thou delay me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels in your heart, both in an instant.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Does he know that I am in the forest and in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did that day he wrestled.
Take a taste of my finding him and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree dropped like an acorn.
It may well be called Jove's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
There lay he, splayed like a wounded knight.
Though it is a pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground.
Cry hollow to thy tongue, it curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, and thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know I am a woman? When I think I must speak. Sweet, say on. 'Tis he! Slink by and note him!
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief have been myself alone.
So would I, but yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs on their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favouredly.
Rosalind is your love's name.
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery.
I will chide no breather in the world except myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
Fault I would not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
Oh, I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I'm glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I pray you, what is the clock?
Wouldn't it better to ask what time of day? There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
Why not the swift-footed time? Would that not be as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse places and with diverse persons.
Where dwell you, pretty?
With my sister, here in the skirts of the forest like a fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you a native of this place? Only your accent is something finer than could be purchased in so removed a dwelling.
I've been told so of many. And indeed, an old religious uncle taught me to speak, who was in his youth an inland man. Are you he who hangs the verses on the trees, wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I am he. That unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can attest how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well a dark house and a whip as madmen do. And the reason why they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whip is own love too. Yet I profess to curing it by counsel.
Have you ever cured any so?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me. At which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything, as boys and women are for the most part cattle of this colour, would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, then weep for him and spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humour of love to a living humour of madness.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you, if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my cote to woo me. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind.
Through the furnace and shrinking as steps to pursue and shield thee and save thee or perish there too. You know?
Have I not cause to weep?
As good a cause as one would desire, therefore weep.
His very hair is of the dissembling colour.
An excellent colour. Your chestnut was ever the only colour.
But why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
Do you not think so? Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in. But I think he is not in.
You heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They are both the confirmer of false reckonings. Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses and speaks brave words and swears brave oaths and breaks them bravely. Quite traverse athwart the heart of a lover, as a puny tilter that spurs his horse ever but on one side and breaks his staff like a noble goose. But all's brave that youth mounts and folly guides.
Heart to hold on to, like a dream upon waking. Your heart to hold on to, like a dream upon waking. Your heart to hold on to, like a dream upon waking.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? Are you a lover? And you served me such another trick, never come in my sight more.
But, my fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love. He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break but a part of the 1,000th part of that minute in the affairs of love, it may be said of him that Cupid hath clapped him on the shoulder, but I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, come no more in my sight. I's lief to be buoyed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail, for though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. What would you say to me now, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
Well, I'd kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you had better speak first, and when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied? If I had my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest, her frown might kill me.
By this hand it will not kill a fly. But come now, I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition, and ask me what you will. I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
Yes, and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Why, can one have too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you'll be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the word. You must begin. Will you, Orlando?
Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Well, as quickly as this priest can marry us.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I might ask you for your commission, but I do take thee, Orlando, for my husband. As a girl runs before the priest, and certainly a woman's thought runs before her actions. Now, tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever. No, no, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
For these next 2 hours I must leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock I shall return.
Aye, go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
Now, in good troth, and by good earnest, and so God mend me, and in all pretty oaths that are not dangerous, if you break one jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind, that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. So beware my censure and keep your promise.
No less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So adieu.
Well, time is the old justice that examines all such offenders, and let time try. Adieu.
Good morrow, fair ones. I know you by description such garments in such years. Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind he sends this bloody napkin. Are you she?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame. You will know of me what man I am, and how, and why, and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour. Pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy,
Lo, what befell? He threw his eye aside, and mark what object did present itself. Under an oak, whose boughs were mossed with age, and high-top bald with dry antiquity, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself, who with her head, nimble in threats, approached the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it unlinked itself, and with indented glides did slink away into a bush, under which bush's shade a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground, with cat-like watch, when that the sleeping man should stir. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that ever lived among men.
Well, he might so do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there, food to the Saxon hungry lioness?
Twice he turned his back and purposed so. But kindness, nobler ever than revenge, and nature stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle with the lioness, who quickly fell before him. In which hurtling, from miserable slumber, I awoke.
Are you his brother?
But for the bloody handkerchief?
In brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me into my brother's love, who led me instantly into his cave, there stripped himself. And here, upon his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled. And now he fainted, and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and in some small space, being strong of heart, he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell this story that you might excuse his broken promise, and give this, dyed in his blood, unto the youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her, that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Aliena. Say with her that she loves me. Say with both that we may enjoy each other. Shall be to your good. For my father's house and all the money that was old Sir Roland's shall I estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let the wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke and all's contented followers. Go and prepare Aliena, for look, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, there, sister.
My dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It's my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but by the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited a swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know what you are. Nay, 'tis true. For your brother and my sister no sooner met but they looked, no sooner looked but they loved, no sooner loved but they sighed, no sooner sighed but they asked one another the reason, no sooner knew the reason but they sought the remedy.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I shall bid the Duke to nuptial, but oh, how bitter a thing it is to see happiness through another man's eyes. By so much the more tomorrow shall I be at the height of heart-heaviness. By how much I shall think my brother happy in having that which he wishes for.
Why then tomorrow I cannot serve your time for Rosalind?
I can no longer live by thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3 years old, conversed with a magician, most profound in his art and yet not damnable. If you do love this Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life I do, which I tender dearly, though I say I am a magician. Therefore put you in your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will.
Salutations and greetings to you all.
Good my lord, bid him welcome. This is that motley-minded gentleman I have so often seen in the forest.
Let him put me to my purgation. I have trot a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with my friends, smooth with my enemy. I have undone 3 tailors, and I have had 4 quarrels, and would like to have fought one.
And how was that taken up?
Faith, we met and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
Our 7th cause. Good my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well. What else do you see, sir? I desire to the like. I will press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives, like your pearl in your foul oyster.
By my faith, he is very swift and sententious.
Is he not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
He shoots his wit.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
Mirando al cielo recordé la noche azul cuando de ti me enamoré. Aquella noche junto al mar que entre la brisa y un cantar yo te besé. Mirando al cielo recordé la noche azul cuando de ti me enamoré. Aquella noche junto al mar que entre la brisa y un cantar yo te besé. Mirando al cielo recordé la noche azul cuando de ti me enamoré. Aquella noche junto al mar que entre la brisa y un cantar yo te besé. Mirando al cielo recordé la noche azul cuando de ti me enamoré. Aquella noche junto al mar que entre la brisa y un cantar yo te besé. Mirando al cielo recordé la noche azul cuando de ti me enamoré. Aquella noche junto al mar que entre la brisa y un cantar yo te besé. Hermosa y triste ocasión de vivirás eternamente en mi canción.
If it be true that a good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good story needs no epilogue. Yet, to good wine they do use good bushes, and good stories may prove the better by the help of good epilogues. I'm not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them, that between you and the women the story may please. And, I'm sure, as many as have good beards, or good faces, or sweet breaths will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.
It was a lover and his lass that o'er the green cornfields did pass. Between the acres of the rye, these pretty country folks would lie. With a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no, with a hey and a hey nonny no. goody wing time. When the birds do sing, hey ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love to swing.